before I start this video, I just want to let you guys know that I'm back home, so I don't really have much lighting to work with, so I'm sorry if this looks weird or off or anything. And um, I didn't bring my microphone. I'm pretty sure the mic on the MacBook Pro is actually pretty good, so I don't know if that's something to worry about. But I just wanted to apologize if any of this video seems just a little bit off, a little bit weird. You know, this lighting, I look fucking homeless. So I just wanted to apologize in advance. Let's get into our review. The Matrix Resurrections is directed by Lana Wachowski and stars Keanu Reeves, Carrie-AnneMoss, Priyanka Chopra, Jessica Henwick, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jonathan Groff, Daniel Bernhardt, Neil Patrick Harris, Jada Pinkett Smith, Christina Ricci, I think. Let me know if I pronounced any of that wrong. And it stars Lambert Wilson. Matrix Resurrections is a film, and you know, I'm a diehard Matrix fan. I love the first movie. I think the second movie's alright, and I really don't like the third movie. Especially since the second and third movie came out in the same year, and I feel like those films were just rushed, and there wasn't really much thought put into those two movies, especially not as much as the first one. Definitely not as much as the first one. So I was excited to see Lana Wachowski return for this movie. I was excited to see that her vision was kind of being fulfilled. She was doing a movie that she wanted to do, and it didn't really seem like the studio was going to interfere with this film. So I was excited. I was a bit optimistic. You know, I had my worries, I had my doubts, and I'm here to tell you guys that I had a lot of fun. I think The Matrix Resurrections is definitely the best sequel, and I think it has a lot of really great things about it. I think the main focus of the film and where it decides to go in terms of the story is fantastic. I think they went the right direction, and I think it's a nice and refreshing story that's both original and familiar to a certain extent. So it does a lot of really cool things, and it does them right. So with all that being said, let's get into the good. First thing I want to talk about is the performances. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-AnneMoss are fantastic, especially them. Jessica Henwick was also a very nice surprise, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II was also very, very good. But something I was also quite surprised by was Neil Patrick Harris. I actually quite liked him in this movie. I can't really name a performance of his that I absolutely love. Then again, I grew up with him being in the Smurfs, so I have no clue. There has to be a movie out there where he's absolutely fantastic. I found him to be really, really good in this film, and for reasons I'm not going to spoil, of course, but he did a really good job. This movie is a lot of fun, and I will tell you something that it fixes. The practicality of the action sequences are back. And the originality of the story is back too. They do a really good job handling action sequences here. They are so fluent and so well done. The choreography is great. Keanu Reeves, of course, does his own stunts, so it looks fucking fantastic. And it was just very well crafted. And the action sequences were dirty and rough and super brutal. So I enjoyed the hell out of those. Those were awesome. And I feel like, again, the story goes in a great direction, so it never feels like it's unfocused, and never feels like it doesn't have originality, because it definitely does. It has a similar structure to the first film, but there's a lot of ways that it's very, very different, and especially the high concept ideas they explore with how Neo is back in the Matrix. They do a really good job kind of implementing that and explaining how they keep him in the Matrix again. And that's, of course, not something I'm going to spoil, but it does unfortunately lead to some of my bad with the movie. So let's get into that. one thing that brings this movie down for me from being great is the first act. And it's not for the originality of the story. It's definitely there, and it definitely, the first act definitely has its great moments. And a lot of people have been praising this part of the movie. The self-awareness. I know people are going to like it. Some people are going to really like it. Some people are really going to dislike it. I was one of those people that was, unfortunately, it was too much. It was too self-aware. And it got to the point where it was kind of, I was rolling my eyes and I was like, do we really need this? And, it just, even though some of it was definitely necessary, for the high concept, it, it felt, a lot of it felt like it was jokes, just to be jokes in some cases. And it didn't feel quite earned, and it didn't feel quite deserved, and it felt like it was kind of just hammered in. And there's also a lot of references, including to specific musical. It kind of shocked me a little bit, and it just didn't work. But it only lasted in the first act. It's really only in the first act, and who knows, maybe I'll lighten up to it in the future. But for now, it kind of just took the movie down for me. Again, this is a really, really fun film. This is a good step into the right direction for the Matrix franchise, and I hope that Lana Wachowski gets to do more, because this is definitely a step up, and they definitely listen to the fans on this one. So, yeah, guys, I had a good time with Matrix Resurrections, and I'm going to give the Matrix Resurrections a B. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the movie. It comes out tomorrow, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. I would also definitely go see this in IMAX or in theaters in general. This is definitely a movie you want to check out in theaters. But with all that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.